Early on in this Dolphins camp, it seems like there's a couple themes that need to be addressed. The main theme is this team is no longer going to be the finesse team. They're going to be the bullies. Huge fight breaks out. When I say huge, big enough fight breaks out. That was Tuesday at Dolphins camp. Apparently, running back Jaylen Wright and Cater Kahu got into it. A couple other guys jumped in. Another rookie, Pierre Paul, suplex Cater Kahu.
That's a big boy.
Yeah, he is big. And from what I'm reading on Omar Kelly's Twitter page, that he is continually getting better and better and better. He said it was rough at first, but every day shows a little bit of improvement. But there was a huge fight. Tyreek Hill actually said, look, the fight is all right. A couple of guys weighed in. Teron Armstead said fights happen. And that's true. At camp, fights happen. Nothing to really read into. He says, as long as you fight on the field and not in the locker room, that's the way to go. That's the way this team is going to be. That's kind of the attitude of this team. Then to make things even more interesting, after practice in the locker room, Jaylen Ramsey got up for 10 minutes apparently and gave a long speech about how the fight was okay and that this team is tough and they're changing the mentality of being a finesse team. And that's one of the things you hear from this team over and over and over again is that they want to be bullies this year. They want to be the tough guys. They're not going to be a finesse team. They're coming for you. And maybe the mentality has been brought over by one Anthony Weaver. He's the new defensive coordinator. He's come from the Baltimore Ravens, and we all know the Baltimore Ravens, if there's one thing they are not, the one thing they are not is soft. Anthony Weaver did speak with the media the other day and touched on a bunch of different issues, but one of the first issues that he talked about was, can he make this Dolphins team a lot like the Ravens, a bunch of bullies?
Yeah, I think with the guys we have on defense, it certainly is innate. So it's our job to make that come to life. And you do that through your actions, right? You do that through your actions daily, just going out there on the practice field and trying to be purposeful and have clear intention in what we're trying to get done and trying to solve all our problems with our pads. And ultimately, we get an opportunity to do that 17 times this year. And hopefully at the end of the day, they say we are bullies.
It's good to see that Anthony Weaver is bringing that mentality. And Vlad, I can't tell you whether the Dolphins are going to be bullies or not this year. I don't know. It's training camp, not even preseason yet. But I will say having that mentality and kind of having that as the forefront, it's a good start.
Well, it's clearly this must be a narrative going around the league.
Right.
That they're soft. I know one of the players, Jordan Poyer, we talked about last week, talking about they knew that the Dolphins would fold easily if they get punched in the mouth or to have any type of adversity. And now there was also a player this week that was talking about being bullish, like they wanted to be the bullies. And then Anthony Weaver is talking about that. So it's either you got it or you don't. You can't teach to be,
Well, it does make a difference, though. I think that they're sitting there talking about it and trying to make a concerted effort to be like that. Now, does it make you bullies? No, but does it make you a little bit tougher? Yeah. Every team knows there's things they have to work on. And it just seems like this team is now making it a point to be bigger, stronger, tougher, and more bullies and less finesse.
Right. Jordan Brooks was talking about, he also talked this week about why, the defense needs a bully mentality. And obviously Anthony Weaver is putting that in there, but it's either you have it or you don't.
Right. But it seems like you bring guys like Jordan Poyer in and you bring guys like Anthony Weaver in. And one of the first things probably in their interview was, you guys have a mentality or you guys have this, kind of.
And was that the defense? Because I don't think Christian Wilkins was was soft. I think everybody thought he was a bully. He was an annoyance.
I think just the teams overall, it's looked at as a finesse team, and they're just trying to change that. And they've got the new guys in here that are like, hey, look, we've been on teams that are bullies. We need to be more like this. We need to make more of an effort to do this. So, like I said, does that translate into them being less of a finesse team and more physical? I think at some point it does, but I don't know if it totally turns you into the Baltimore Ravens. I think it's one of those things. It's a process, but I do like the attitude of that. Of course, that defense is always going to be tested because we know the Dolphins' offense is great. And Anthony Weaver was asked about having to face that prolific Dolphins offense. He says it makes the defense better every day.
Absolutely. I got to be honest. I can't wait to face another opponent because our offense is so talented, but it's iron sharpens iron, right? So for us, the opportunity to go against them each and every day, we know that they're the best. So for us to go out there and compete daily and have this kind of back and forth just shows that defensively we can also chase those same goals.
Iron sharpens iron. I like that. I really do believe that works. I also could believe it can mess with your psyche a little bit when you're playing up against a great offense every single day, but they've kind of embraced that. It kind of seems like that's one of those things. And let's be honest, Vic Fangio came with that tough man attitude too last year. So let's not say Anthony Weaver's a tough guy.
That's what I'm
year.
saying. Like,
right.
Vic Fangio he ain't no cupcakes.
Right. And no, we're being honest. We're calling it out. We're not saying this year's team.
Jerome Baker was not he wasn't a cupcake at linebacker. Like I don't think the defense I thought was any had the narrative of being soft. And I don't even think the offense it was always about the speed. How would they do in inclement weather? How would the Miami Dolphins play in conditions that weren't ideal? I don't think that's you have to be a bully, to play, you know what I mean, to play in inclement weather. You don't. You just got to be.
You got to have that tough man mentality.
You got to execute and have a better game plan. Like run the ball. You want to have a bully mentality? Run the ball.
Well, they've got plenty of running backs. Raheem Mostert, Devon Achane. Now they got Jalen Wright, who got into a fight the other day, started a fight the other day. But yeah, they just have maybe more of a tougher, mean mentality. Maybe that'll translate to better play at the end of the season. We don't know. Now, one guy that I'm very hopeful for, Vlad, and I want you to watch him very closely because I watched him very closely in the preseason last year, and I'll keep an eye on him. One, Cam Smith. He's a second-round pick from South Carolina. He has a high ceiling, but also, as we know, he did not play last year. Now, how did that happen? Maybe it was because he wasn't good enough. Maybe it's because he got into Vic Fangio's doghouse. We do know that it kind of messed with his psyche. And Anthony Weaver was asked about Cam Smith being scarred and how he's going to try to rebuild his confidence.
I think Cam is such a young player, right? And he certainly has some scars from the previous year, which if you didn't play a lot and you're wondering why, that's going to occur with any young player in that situation. So for me and for us, and I think in order to get the best version of him, which we just started to see prior to injury, he needs to be confident. He can't be afraid to go on that practice field and make mistakes and fear repercussion, particularly at the corner spot. Because whether it's take the corner spot out of it, whether it's a corner spot, defensive end, anybody on that football field, if you don't step between those lines with confidence, you don't have a chance. You're already beat. So all I'm challenging Cam is to go out there, be confident, be who you are, have faith in your skills, and challenge these receivers, and good things will happen. And when he gets back on that field, I know he's going to do just that.
Man, I like that from Anthony Weaver right there, trying to help rebuild Cam Smith's confidence. Like I said, I thought he was in position a lot. I thought he looked the part, and then he never played again during the regular season. So I like that he's instilling him. Be confident. Don't worry about repercussions because, Vlad, we know if there's one position you're going to get burned, it's at cornerback in the NFL.
You got to have a short memory, boy.
I mean, it's one of those things. Even the best of the best, they get burned. I mean, I'm trying to think. Darrelle Revis, he every once in a while got passes called on him. Yeah. Not rarely. But
No. Towards the end, it was nasty.
Yeah, towards the end. But even at the height, look, you're playing.
Yeah, Randy Moss caught that one-handed touchdown on him.
Right. I mean, it's like baseball. You bat 300, 3 out of 10 times, you can go to the Hall of Fame. So it's one of those things. But Cam Smith, I really do think that he has the physical tools to make it happen. Now, does he have the mental tools, especially after the year that he had last year or the lack thereof of the year that he had last year? But it's good to hear that Anthony Weaver has tried to instill some confidence in him. And he says, we're starting to see what we want from him. And then, of course, he got injured. So hopefully Cam Smith is not snake bitten. Hopefully, and I'm really hoping because we need him as a defensive back, he'll be a pleasant surprise. Speaking of another, well, not rookie, but another guy that's hoping to contribute as a young guy on this team, first-round pick Chop Robinson. We know Jalen Phillips is trying to get back on the practice field as far as full participation. We know that Bradley Chubb continues to work in rehab. We need edge rushers. Chop Robinson, he may be young, but he has the skills, and Anthony Weaver gave us an update on how he's coming along.
Right, he's still a young player, still trying to learn some of the finer techniques and fundamentals of the game, but you see his athleticism and his skill set. And what I love most about the kid is just his intent when he comes to work. He's quiet, right? He's not one of those rookies that are out talking all this stuff and then not backing up on the field. You can see him just contemplating every single thing that's being given to him and try to see what bits and pieces he can take from people to use with his game.
So basically, he's a rookie. And we're going to see more of him with the joint practices and also against the Falcons when they play Friday. Vlad, that's another guy I want you to watch because, like we said, a lot of the starters aren't going to play. And even if they do, they're not going to play a lot. Chop Robinson, we need you to keep an eye on him because you're going to be boots on the ground or Nikes on the ground. You're going to be able to see what's going on.
All right. I'm not, you're trying to make this hype. Yeah, I'll be there. I'm covering it. Yeah, I'll look at it and I'll come back Saturday and I'll, post game and Saturday, we'll talk about it.
Oh, I'm fired up for post game, man. Friday night. Woo, it's going to be fun. I'm excited. Look, this is your first chance to get Chop Robinson in actual NFL action. It's going to be awesome. I'm excited. Keeping an eye on those guys. Cam Smith, Chop Robinson. A lot of eyes on the defense. I'm not so worried about the offense because I know Tua Tagovailoa. I know Tyreek Hill, number one player in the NFL, voted by his peers. Jaylen Waddle. Odell Beckham Jr. not going to be playing, so don't worry about that. Jonnu Smith not going to be playing probably either. But no. I know the offense. I'm not worried about that. The defense, though, got some question marks. Going to be keeping an eye on that. Last but not least, Anthony Weaver, pretty big dude. But, there's always trash talking going on between the players and sometimes the coaches. But Anthony Weaver says when it comes to Mike McDaniel, nah.
I love Mike. I am not much of a trash talker, particularly the guys that are smaller than me. So, no. It was. No, but I joke. I love him. I love him to death. Any trash talk that we have between each other is surely in good fun because we know ultimately we're just trying to get this team as well prepared and as ready to go as we possibly can.
I don't think Mike McDaniel would be a good trash talker. I could be wrong. Vlad, do you think, though? He's not pointed enough.
No, I don't think it's
so I think my offense and your defense
no, you know what? He might be a good trash talker because he might hit you with like quick zingers that you didn't think he had.
Quick zingers.
That's the thing. It's like, well, wait a minute. Why when you talk to the media, you give simple what should be a simple 15-20 second soundbite into a 2-minute soliloquy. You know what I mean? I don't think I think if you trash talking, you're not doing that. You saw when he was trash talking with Max Crosby, but it was great. It's like, I see you. It's one of those annoying trash talks.
Yeah, he's got that annoying little like quirk about him.
Yeah, it's like a little kid, almost little brother type of annoyance. Like, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you. You can't shake me. But I think when he's on the field and there's no mics on, oh, Tyreek just burnt your defense there, Anthony.
Oh, we know he's confident.
Yeah.
Remember during Hard Knocks, he was saying, I can't see this series going more than one play. I can't see it going more than one play.
McDaniel trash talk too. He can trash talk.
Well, they're obviously asking Anthony Weaver because Mike McDaniel does trash talk. So
yeah, he can trash talk. So for Anthony Weaver to say he doesn't trash talk to anybody, who's smaller, shorter than him is
Anthony Weaver's just saying, look, I don't talk a lot of trash. I go about my business.
No, they all talk trash. You can't be in the NFL and not talk trash. Get out of here.
Everybody talks trash.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't need to be for public fodder, though. It doesn't mean the national media doesn't even know about it because you know why? Or the local media. Because
they'll blow it up.
if there's any incident that happens during this training camp or in the season, they can always go back to that point. Or it's like, oh, well, they did trash talk during training camp, and maybe that those feelings are still lingering towards the season. They'll look for anything now, bro.
Right. And like I said, you're going to be in the locker room and you hear guys say stuff and you don't report on it because it's just talk. It's not serious. And that's why they probably don't want to get that out there because someone's going to run with it and say, oh, Anthony Weaver called Mike McDaniel something. And now there's dissension in the locker room. It's like, no, they're just talking noise. That's all it is. Everybody does it everywhere, every job, every time. It's okay. But still, Anthony Weaver says he doesn't bully little guys, but his defense bullies? Let's hope so.
Hopefully.